What's up, everybody? Welcome back, Eagle Express. Doing a local one, Spokane to Spokane. Picking up something from Air Gas and then it delivers somewhere else. A lot of questions about, still, it's the same common question. And, I know that people want to know the answer to it, but we don't know the answer. They're always asking potential drivers, current drivers, future wannabe drivers, anybody who's interested in joining this space or who's already in this space. They keep asking about, how things are, when are things going to get better, and things like that. Well, you never know. Maybe the best times are right now, actually. They're not the greatest that they've been before, and the greatest have been like post-COVID times. Those were the times it was easy to get loads and all that, and I've told you guys this many times before. But right now, it's more like, you'll make a decent, good living doing this, but you do have to have patience.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto South Thurman Road.
Patience, basically, to wait for your load, because it could take a day, it could take 2 days sometimes, depending on your location, where you're at. If your home base is a slow area, obviously you are going to be, it could take 2+ days or even who knows how long. It all depends where your home base is and if the driver decides to move or not. Like our Florida drivers, 99% of the time.
At the light, turn left onto South Thurman Road, then turn left onto Sprague Avenue.
And become available from Atlanta for us. Or they say, hey, I'm ready to go. If you do see something, then I can go, I'll do it, but otherwise
At the light, turn left onto Sprague Avenue.
And I'll be in Atlanta tomorrow or whenever they're ready to go. So you're not going to get rich quickly in this game.
Continue on Sprague Avenue for half a mile.
But you are going to be doing a job where you have so much freedom that you've never had before when you were working for somewhere else for someone else. If you were always, in business for yourself, then I don't know how that would be.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto North Fancher Road.
This job, the best thing about it is there's enough money to pay for all your bills and everything else if you're a good driver, if you can drive all night as needed, and if you can clear a lot of miles, then yes, you're going to make good money doing this.
At the light, turn right onto North Fancher Road.
Is basically your freedom to take time off whenever you want, wherever you want, as long as the freight is not on board and needs to be delivered still.
Continue on North Fancher Road for half a mile.
Then yes, definitely. As long as we didn't book you a load, then you can basically, if I'm hauling a load right now, I can say, hey, tomorrow I'm going to take off and I'll let you know when I'm available again. And we're like, yep, sure, that's fine. As long as we don't have anything booked for you in advance. It's not often that we do, but, sometimes we do get loads ahead of time. In expediting, that's not really common. A lot of people ask us in expediting if we have lanes, if we have, if there's like local routes. This is not
in a quarter mile, your
FedEx.
destination will be on the left.
It's not a FedEx where there's local routes. We deal with expedited freight. Expedited freight means when something broke down somewhere, when something's critical, like aircraft on the ground is waiting for a part, the mines are waiting for a part, anything else is really waiting for something really quick, it needs to be there, and that's when we come in. So those of you guys who think that we're some kind of like a, courier, some kind of a courier that delivers packages or whatever, we don't do that. We carry palletized freight for the most part. Sometimes it's in little boxes, but it just depends on the part. If it's a tiny little part, then yeah, it's going to be in a box. So to answer you guys' questions, no, there's not a local or regional, some kind of lanes, that somebody has every day, some kind of work. There's none of that. Expediting is totally different. We work off of bid boards. The freight goes on bid boards, and whenever it's available for pickup, that's when it goes on the bid board. Not a week before, 2 days before, 3 days before, none of that kind of stuff. Whenever it's available for pickup, that's when it goes on the bid board. And and that's when we bid on the freight. Okay, I'm at my pickup.
Your destination is on the left.
By the way, here's my freight. They finally, not the watermelon. Watermelons from Costco, that one goes home. That one I forgot to take out of my van yesterday when I went to the store. Or actually, it wasn't even yesterday. I think it was Saturday. Anyways, it's this tank, medical gas apparently, I guess. And their customer was a new customer who basically was over budget on their credit. So they, at first the name was wrong of whoever the receiver is, and then they figured it out finally. And then the customer was over budget, and then some other boss came in to do some paperwork. Anyway, lots of corporate to corporate stuff, but it did get done, and I'm finally loaded, just waiting on a good to go from the broker because of how everything is not right the first time on here. So hopefully I'll get my good to go fast and be on my way. But those of you guys, you know, to answer your questions, to do this, you're not going to get rich quick. You are going to make a good living. You are, you know, going to be working hard, obviously. You are going to be driving all night long, a lot of times. You are going to be doing some other long miles. That's what it requires to make money. And if you're just looking to be local or regional, you're not going to make any money in the end. You're going to maybe try something, whatever, but we try not to even work with any local or regional drivers because it's a waste of time for dispatch. Those loads just simply do not pay because everybody wants, a lot of people want those. And by the time, you know, you bid all day long on these loads and then not get anything, and basically the dispatcher wasted his time bidding loads for a driver, and who wants to work for free, you know, and didn't get anything. So everybody wants to make money, driver too, dispatch as well, everybody, shipper, receiver, everybody. That's why we live, you know, on earth, you know, to be able to survive out here. And if you're just trying to do local or regional, you're definitely not going to survive. By the time you pay that insurance, by the time you pay your note payment on your van and your other home bills and everything else, being local and regional, honestly, it's a big waste of time. Big waste of time. So to make money doing this is you gotta bite the bullet, go OTR, over the road, stay out for 3 weeks, and if you need to get home, you can park the van at the airport, fly home for a week or two, pay that $10 a day or whatever they'll charge you and for parking, and then come back to your van, fly back, and hit the road again. Because a lot of times drivers are like, well, I only need to go this one direction, and basically they'll spend a half a week or a full week waiting for a load back home. It doesn't happen, and they end up driving home empty anyways, and they don't even make money. So it doesn't even make sense to be able to mess around with that. It just doesn't make sense. Go, make money, and then go home whenever you've made money, or whenever you're, you know, in the area to actually go home, and after you've met your money goal. That's how I would do it. But hey, everybody's got their own opinions and their own ways that they want to try it. But from my experience, everybody who's trying to, it's not like, you know, Expediting is some kind of a travel agency, and we're, as dispatchers, we're not a travel agency to where pick your destination, where would you like to go. You know, it's not that kind of thing. It's grinding work on the dispatch end to be able to bid nonstop until you actually win a load. And wherever's out there is what's out there. And it doesn't happen very often that, you know, you can choose and pick just a load that takes you homebound. We've had that happen so many times where for 2 days, 3 days, we can't get nothing for a driver homebound. And then the driver's mad, has to, you know, change their plans and everything else. And some are mad, some are not mad. Some just park and fly. Some just bite the bullet and drive home empty. I don't see the point of that. You know, I'd see better outcome. This is my version of it, is actually make the money, go wherever, and then go home after you've made your money goal. Or if you can't, then just fly home. Flying home is nothing. It's even cheaper than gas, flying cross country. All done with my drop. It went to the hospital, Inland Imaging, up on the north side of Spokane here. So easy delivery. Had to wait just a bit, but because they were being a little weird with the contact and stuff. I guess I don't look like a normal delivery guy, apparently, for them to, they had to check some things. Anyways, but if you guys are looking to get into the business, don't let anybody stop you. Don't let anybody tell you no. Don't let anybody tell you it's not worth it. It's not for everybody. That's the one thing you guys should know and understand. It definitely is not for everybody. If you get homesick easily, then it's not for you, because you got to stay out on the road for a long time, 2-3 weeks at least, or until you meet your money goal. It could be sooner, whenever you meet your money goal, or you could be maybe driving through home again, with your delivery coming back sooner. Then you can swing by home, obviously, but just be prepared to make money. You got to stay on the road for a while, because that's just how it goes. You got to put on the miles, do the work. When you make the money, then you go home. Because otherwise, if you're just, doing this to make ends meet, well, you could be doing, something else and making ends meet locally and not even bother investing money into a van and, dealing with everything that a business has to drag along with it. Just so you guys know, you're still doing this, you're doing it on your own as an owner-operator. And there's still things you got to do, like, keep track of your spendings, earnings, and your what you earn and what you spend, and still pay taxes on that stuff, and calculate taxes, and do all the things that business. Yeah, you do have some write-offs, but just so you know, it's not just you drive and then all of a sudden you just take your form to the tax person and you're done. It actually has things that you are accountable for, because owner-operator is always a 1099, so just so you guys know. If you are looking to join, if you got a van already, if you don't have one, then there's really no point yet, but keep watching videos and keep learning things and see if it's for you or not. But if you already have a van in hand, you are more than welcome to email the email address down in the description. Make sure you copy and paste it, because it's spelt a little differently than what it sounds like. So copy and paste it, and I'll be able to take you guys on if you are looking to do this kind of work. But like I said, you got to be a good nighttime driver. If you can drive all night long, no problem, as needed, that's fine. And if you can, put on a lot of miles, you can drive, not just like a logbook truck, but we don't have logbooks, so you got to put on the miles to be able to make the money. So it consists of all night driving and consists of a lot of miles. You got to be able to clear a lot of miles. Sometimes it's all night and half a day. Sometimes it's all day and maybe half a night, or another full night. It just kind of depends. But just driver has to be a beast. It's not just for somebody weak who thinks they can do 200, 300, 400 miles a day and call that good money. That's called local and regional. There is those kind of loads. I mean, there are those kind of loads, but we try to avoid short miles, because short miles equals short pay. Short miles is only, whatever requested, or if there's nothing better than the short miles, then we get the short mile loads, because otherwise they just don't pay. They just don't have any money in them, and they're not worth it. They can't pay decently on short miles. It used to be, back in the day, that they could pay good money on a short run. So if you're doing a short run, then it was worthwhile doing it, because the pay was good. It was paying above average for those short miles, so it was worth it to some people. To some, not even to everybody. God bless you guys. Take care. If you have any questions, you can also email the email address in the description. And I also have a Connect app that you guys can do voice chat with me, video chat with me. It is a pay chat. It is a pay option, but that only, because otherwise I would be way too busy just speaking to you guys on the phone all day long, and I try to avoid the phone. So phone calls for me, no. Emails, yes. And Connect app, because through Connect app, those are actually people who are serious about it and not just time wasters. So God bless everybody. Take care. We'll see each other next time.